Hey again, everybody. Protik here from Infocom in Bangkok. And I have the distinct pleasure of talking to Aurangzeb today from Jabra. Hey, Aurangzeb, welcome.
Great to see you, Pratik.
Thanks
Great
for
to
joining
be here.
us.
We've been working together virtually for several years, and now we're in person. So
Absolutely. And I got to say, it's the in-person still has that magic.
yeah,
We talk about this sort of virtual and how it's as good and immersive, but the connection that you make when you actually see somebody and shake that hand, I think still is critical.
we got to work on that tactile technology.
100%, right? That'd be really cool. So what I want to share with the audience today, sort of, is as we look at Jabra, you've been a fantastic partner in this space, especially around audio and with headsets and earbuds and speakerphones, and you're sort of moving to video. So I'd love for you to share a little bit with the audience in terms of what that looks like and what you just announced.
Thank you. No, it's just been a joy to work with you and the team, in Redmond and the folks at the Hive. We've been on a journey together in really inventing the right experience for hybrid collaboration because it is such a norm. We're all living it, we're all growing with it. We bring something quite unique to the industry with our multi-camera array technology. So most folks may be familiar with cameras with, one lens and one imager. Well, we have 3 cameras all running together or now all running independently with 13 megapixels of resolution and with very high human scale fidelity. So people look right. And we think that a big part of the experience is, you want to hear and be heard clearly, see and be seen clearly. And then great technology is like magic. It just fades into the background. It does the right thing. And so we've been a big believer in AI. AI is, of course, at the edge in our devices and in the cloud. And harmonizing that has been a lot of the work we've been doing together. You're seeing it in dynamic composition. We are certified. I think the first device getting certified for the intelligent camera experience. Dynamic composition is a technology out there. People love it. I'm seeing it all over the floor here.
Yes, indeed.
The plain old whiteboard. I've been a big user of whiteboard, so it's always good to have that in there. Makes the solution extremely cost effective, very compact.
Correct.
And then data, very early in 2017, we started talking about anonymized people count. And in those days, people were like, oh, interesting. Now everybody wants data, and the telemetry we've integrated with you is, and I saw it in action where the door panels were turning red when you met capacity.
Yes, that's absolutely great. And I think I'm just going to highlight again, so the dynamic composition, right? So for those of you who aren't aware, it's the ability to wear a single camera, takes multiple people in a room and splits them up with individual video frames, making it that much more inclusive for people joining remotely to see everybody's emotions and behaviors in the room. So absolutely fantastic feature that sounds like hotcakes. So,
Yeah, people love it. I'm so delighted. Knock on wood here, but
100%.
and then of course, we sometimes sort of use this analogy. In the old days, it used to be about physical real estate. The corner office. Now it's pixel real estate.
True. I haven't thought about it that way, but that actually makes so much sense. And I think the other one where you truly differentiate is you highlighted the physical whiteboard space. And here in Southeast Asia and Asia, physical whiteboards still play a huge role.
Good, that's
right?
good.
Every office you go into, they're everywhere. And a lot of customer conversations around, what does that look like? How do we do it? So there are solutions where you have to plug in a separate camera on the wall, take up additional real estate, right? But what you guys have really done, that ability to split that third camera, add a wide angle view to capture that whiteboard on the side is brilliant.
Yeah, and so we can use those 3 cameras for full 180 video, and in parallel, because we built a multi-streaming architecture from the get-go, dual purpose, any one of those 3 for being a whiteboard camera, and also all 3 are always AI sensors, doing anonymized people count. And with Penicast 50, we also pioneered, building on our audio heritage, 8 beamforming microphones, a direction of arrival vector. So now we can combine the direction of arrival vector with the vertices where all the people are, and the whole notion of virtual director. How do you curate the audio video frames?
Correct.
So that people remote can just follow the conversation easily. They know who's engaged, who's talking, when to interject, what's happening in that space.
Oh, that's fantastic. It all sounds exciting. And I've actually been part of this sort of story with the Penicast 50, right? For the last couple of years.
Yes.
So I know with that, we've sort of recently announced signature rooms, right?
Yes.
Love to hear more about that.
Yeah, that was such a treat. And actually, you were one of the very first who got a P50, and we were talking back and forth and debugging stuff and getting it up. And
Yes.
That's all part of the journey.
Correct.
The Microsoft Ignite announcement around Microsoft Teams signature rooms has been a delightful piece of information to get out there. We've been working with the folks at the Hive who've independently been experimenting and playing with what makes a great collaboration experience. And because our 3 cameras working together can give you that 180 with very low distortion, essentially 99% fidelity, you can use the full real estate. You can push that table right against the front wall, or you can create this curved table with the camera at the focal point and put front row in front, put a big display. We've seen some amazing innovation now in displays. And it's just a great experience. You feel like whether I'm at home or I'm in a team, I'm equally good. I'm not disadvantaged in one setup or the other.
Great.
And I love the Teams room experience because it's so familiar now. I know what to do at home and I know what to do when I'm in a meeting room. It's like there's no fuss. You go in, click, and you're at work. You're not messing around trying, what do I do now? Like, what do I hook up to what? No, it's all there.
And I love the fact that you guys have been able to partner with us and the Hive on the signature room concept. And like you said, even today at Infocom, the multiple booths are showing that solution. And the customer feedback we're getting is really positive too, because it's a mindset change, right? You sort of walk in the room and all of a sudden you don't see this giant rectangular table, right? You sort of see this curved table or a teardrop or a triangular table where everybody gets that immersive and full-fledged sort of comprehensive experience. So that's absolutely fantastic.
I think, we did a survey last year with about 5,000 knowledge workers around the world, US, UK, Germany, France, and Japan. And some really interesting data came back, right? One of it was that they said 80% of all meetings are virtual.
Yeah.
And in the preponderance of those meetings, there are more people in front row than there are people in the room.
Correct, which is so true, right? Which is what's sort of driving this behavior. And I know in front row, we just sort of moved up to 18 in the ribbon at the bottom, which I think is fantastic. Listen, I think, we've also sort of been talking about native Teams rooms experiences, right? And everything we've just sort of talked about and what that means. And I'd love to sort of hear from you and maybe your recent announcement on the Jabra Room solution.
Yes.
And how that comes together. I'd love for you to share with the audience in terms of what that looks like and what enhancement that brings.
Thank you. So we partnered with Lenovo, who are a leader in providing the ThinkSmart product on the panel, to build a room system. And then earlier we had partnered with Crestron, who are, very good in delivering, in fact, whole building systems and solutions to similarly deliver a room system, right? And of course, there are partners in the ecosystem channel who can put these together. But our idea was to make the buying journey, the deployment journey, equally as simple as the experience of the meeting, right? The more we can come together, and I just love your energy around putting all the ecosystem together, right? Because in the end, customers just want to get on with their job. They want to do what they want to do. And our job is to make it easy for them to do what they want to do.
Correct.
These solutions are becoming so cost effective that now we've got customers deploying them at scale.
Exactly.
And
we actually have a
democratizing.
large customer of ours in Singapore. It's an Australian company that's deployed multiple rooms with the Jabra, PanaCast 50, and Lenovo ecosystem, right? To something that we're hoping to be able to share more broadly down the road. But I think just that ability to now have a controller on the desk with a compute that makes it secure, easy to manage, and then with the power of your intelligent camera at the back end provides a fantastic experience. And then not to take away from hybrid work, which we see here as being prevalent, the way Jabra plays such a fantastic role in that work from home to work from anywhere to back at the office, right? So, hey, with that, is there any last sort of parting words to share?
That maybe the last thing, as you said, is, if you look at the whole spectrum, we really might be in a unique position in delivering solutions across that whole spectrum. Maybe the next time we talk, we'll talk about the personal devices and our innovation with PanaCast 20. But really, it's a fantastic time to be in this space. We're making a material difference. We're helping the world go green also, by the way. We're burning less energy instead of flying around all the time.
That's always a good thing. That's fantastic. Hey, again, Ankit, such a pleasure. Look forward to really the new announcements coming down the road.
Yes.
And us really working together going forward and having some great things in the space. Thanks again. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.